So underway now in the men's 4x1500 Open Championship of Victoria. We have 8 starting teams. Oldsavarians represented by Louie Commons, Hunter Rubino, John Call, and Angus the Dalton. Melbourne University, Isaac Hockey, Johnny Yates, Eric Ueda and Matthew Connolly. Mornington Peninsula, Kai Davies, Joel McGill, Cullen Goldsmith and Ethan Anthony. Diamond Valley Athletic Club, Jared Clifford, Tim Logan, Chris Rancy and Jack Itter. Glen Huntly Athletic Club, Rudy Cowley, Samuel Toll, Bo Lang and Ben Kelly. St Stephen's Harriers, Tim Gibney, Thomas Thorpe, Lachlan Aspinall and Ben Buckingham. Box Hill, Nicholas Baggett, Michael Dow, Alexander Ritchie and William Potter. And from Frankston, Daniel D'Alberto, Dylan Burrows, Lachlan Eno and Jesse Dunsmore. And I'm joined in commentary now by Nick Wall.
Thanks, Tim. It's unsurprisingly Jared Clifford out in front of this one, setting the tempo with Riddy and Cowley, the Walker, and he's outside. So good combination here. You've got the Paralympic medalist there in Jared Clifford without the goggles this morning, the green, and now Riddy and Cowley, who we saw lead so strongly in the 5K championships the other week, early in the Glen Huntly colours. He doesn't mind setting the pace.
Yeah, I think it's not too long now before we call him Riddy and Cowley the runner, because he's certainly setting the world on fire a little bit with his running of late. Still, obviously, the walk's his primary event, but his running has gone to new levels this season.
Yeah, no, he's certainly looks very impressive out there in the front in those baby blue colours. Tracking the group there also is Nicholas Baggett. Box Hill, I certainly sure we're keen to impress this weekend here. We've had a busy week already here at Box Hill. We held the high velocity meet here on Thursday night, and it's great to see another competition return here on Saturday. And hanging on the back of that group is Louie Commons. He's the All Schools Under 20 champion over this distance, and he's tracking just behind Kai Davies, obviously another prominent good junior there. So very interesting mix of athletes, and of course the one in third, the most interesting one I think that is returning to form is Isaac Hockey in third there in the Melbourne University colours.
One of the standouts of this event, Nick, I think, is the number of juniors stepping up to this open event. Many of the teams are scattered there with some good juniors. You know, you've got birth years of 01, 99, so we've got a lot of the under-20s here. Yeah, well, I think the youngest in the group there would be Daniel D'Alberto there at the front, the 16-year-old in Frankston. And we've seen that pack just open up now with Ridian. It is from Glen Huntly, Diamond Valley, Box Hill and Melbourne Uni. Just put 5 metres on D'Alberto. I wouldn't be surprised if D'Alberto comes back at a very strong finish at the Vic Miles 3K not so long ago. Good, and then behind them we've got obviously Mornington Peninsula and Oldsavarians, and then back to, it's the return of Tim Gibney in the St Stephen's colours. I think St Stephen's are going to have a very big back end to this relay team. Here's a little fact for you. Tim Gibney, both of his brothers and his dad, all were 1500 metre All Schools champions in their day. Great stat, Nick Wall. So Cowley, look at the look on Ridian's face. He's really going for it. Really unusual to see Jared Clifford without the goggles, as you say, but he's just tracking nicely off the back of Cowley. So we move through and they've got, it's a bit unusual here, but they have 200 metres to go as they hit the back straight. So 200 metres to go as it ticks over 3:30. So these guys are going to go under that 4-minute tempo for this first leg. And I think it looks like Clifford wants to make the move, but Cowley's not going to let him, but he has made it now, Nick. And Hockey in third. Hockey's the one that I reckon might actually get right up to them here at the changeover. This is going to be a really interesting change. It's a bend to straight change, a little bit abnormal. But here we go. We've got, and it looks to be Tim Logan that's going to get the baton there for Diamond Valley in front. Glen Huntly, it's going to be Samuel Toll who takes it next. And for Melbourne University, it will be Johnny Yates. So 3:58 unofficial there as they went through the first changeover. Tim Logan's now got the baton. Sam Toll right on the back of him and Yates. So then following them through from our Box Hill club, it's Michael Dow. We've seen him over multiple distances this season. And then very impressive over the 400 metre hurdles on Thursday night from Frankston. Excuse me there. It is Dylan Burrows. So Dylan Burrows stepping up from the 4 hurdles to the 1500. Back to Oldsavarians with Hunter Rubino. Mornington Peninsula, they're next on the track with their athlete being Joel McGill. And then Tom Thorpe. Expect Tom Thorpe, I reckon, to close this gap. He'll halve this gap by the end of this leg. So I think Tom Thorpe's going to be the big mover, and can St Stephen's follow their winter form and get right up there on the track
So
Michael
Dowell, the Box Hill runner, starting to take the initiative there. They were packing up a little bit, so that meant the pace was on. Means that Burrows is still in contact as well, Nick.
It certainly is an interesting group. Burrows obviously has the speed, so he can keep on with them. He might actually kick home quite strongly, but he's the tallest athlete at the back of these five. Melbourne University just trying to hang on. He looks like in a little bit of trouble at the moment here, but there has been a fair bit of moves already, Johnny Yates. But our lead pack, it's our Diamond Valley athlete of Tim Logan, our Box Hill athlete of Michael Dowell, and then just sitting behind them is our Glen Huntley athlete of Samuel Toll.
So just another shout out for the presentations for the first event, please, which is the top 3 teams. Please report into the presentation tent. We would like to get those presentations underway shortly. So Tim Logan, Toll, Dowell. Dowell's now drifted back into the 3rd position. Gap then of about 20 metres to Burrows and Yates.
So it's great to see a full field of 8 in this 4x1500 metres. I think there's going to be plenty of moves still. I'm a little bit surprised not to see St Kevin's Athletic Club out there, I think, Tim. I think if you look at the national rankings, there'd certainly be a fair lineup if they put their best team on the track.
Yeah, but so too in the 800, obviously.
So it is Diamond Valley out in front, Glen Huntley and Box Hill. Not surprising, those 3 powerhouses out in the front. Frankston and Melbourne University next in the track, and Olds Variants have now been joined by St Stephens. And then back to them is Mornington Peninsula.
Yeah, you definitely tipped this one with Thorpe. He's coming right through beautifully and giving the back end, which is strong for the St Stephens Club, a chance to run back into that medal contention.
It's great to see St Stephens. They were very excited and very proud club over the winter, and it's great to see them on the track now following up that form. But as we move down the back straight, it is Logan who's still trying to put the pace on there for Diamond Valley. Box Hill and Glen Huntley, though, aren't going to let him go.
Yes, and Stephens now probably about 120 behind, so I think I'd rather be in that front pack than sitting where the Stephens are at the moment, because there's a lot of work to do, and at least with the front pack they are working together. Box Hill just dropping slightly now. Logan looking beautiful out there, Nick.
He certainly is. He's been doing a lot of very, very good quality running in recent times over the longer distances. I've seen some great 10k roads from him. Done a lot of work obviously with Jared Clifford and also Matthew Clark, but here they have seemed to have just dropped Box Hill as they're getting ready for this changeover. So again here, 200 metres to go. So 200 metres to go on this second leg. And Diamond Valley's put the kick on from back from Glen Huntley. Box Hill. That hard worker Thorpe early. He got the gap back to about 100. It's back out to about 120. And that is Thorpe in 6th. But in between them, it's Melbourne University and Frankston. With 120 to go, Diamond Valley look they're going to change first. And they're going to change over to Chris Rancy down the back straight. And Lockie Aspinall will take it for... He's going to get it for St Stephens back in the group. And Box Hill, though, Alexander Ritchie will be the second changeover.
Now, Burrows, as expected, is really digging in as we go through 8:01. So that was a tick over 4 minutes for those splits. And Burrows is really kicking in beautifully there for the Frankston team as he goes in as team number 4. So it's Diamond Valley, Box Hill, Glen Huntley, Frankston, Melbourne University, St Stephens, Old Zavarians and Mornington Peninsula in that order. So Rancy just been overtaken now by the Box Hill runner, which is Alexander Ritchie. Gap then to Bo Lang from Glen Huntley Athletic Club. For the Frankston team, we now have Lockie Eno on the track. And for Melbourne University, it is Eric Ueda.
I'm very interested to see what happens here. I know I've called St Stephens a couple of times, but I think this is the leg. They were 150 down at that changeover, so Tom Thorpe got the baton about 200 metres down after the end of the first change. He took it back to about 120 during the leg, and they changed over 150 behind, and already that leg's back down to about 120 with Aspinall flying along.
Yeah, well, looking down the list of the runners on this third leg, Aspinall's the only one who really jumps out as a 1500 metre runner. So they're a bit over 100 down at the moment, but that could be very different as we see John Kuhl from Old Zavarians come through to get 7 laps to go, followed by the Mornington Peninsula runner there in Callum Goldsmith.
It's great to see Johnny Quall out there in the hat, making sure he's keeping the sun off today. Perfect conditions for the hat there, Johnny. Great to see. But it is Box Hill as he come down the home straight here. They've now put about 15 metres on the Diamond Valley. Bo Lang, very multi-talented athlete, not just in athletics but in other sports as well. He's dropped off about 40 metres there for Glen Huntley. And as we hit the straight now, Aspinall is the one flying. He's going to very quickly catch on to Melbourne University and Frankston, which will be 4th, 5th and 6th on the track.
Now, interest here for St Stephen's is, can they get Glenn Huntley over this leg? And I think it might be on the cards here. As we see, Aspinall's moving nicely. He's got to get past Eno and also Ueda. Then his next sight would be the Glenn Huntley runner there in Bo Lang.
So probably about 2 minutes to go on this leg. It'll give us a lot more context in this leg because we will go back to a real 1500 metre start. So we're going to know where these athletes are on the track. It's a little bit unusual. These athletes now have about, what do we got, about 700 to go. Our leaders have about 650 to go now it is. So about 650 to go for our leaders on this leg. And they'll change over in the traditional 1500 metre start position.
St Stephen's in 4. So Rancey's actually doing a really good job out there. You would have expected the marathon runner, he won the Sunshine Coast Marathon this year, not to be so proficient over 15, but Chris Rancey is actually putting in an impressive performance for the Diamond Valley team.
I'm very impressed. That gap back to Aspinall, as we talked about, the genuine 1500 metre run in the field, he's only dropped 50 metres so far. And Diamond Valley, I tell you what, Chris Rancey's fighting really hard to hang on here. These guys are going to change 1st and 2nd, and we've now got 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. They are going to be joining each other. Bo Lang's got a bow-legged there, that is. So Bo Lang goes through with about 500 to go of his leg, and our new 3rd place on the track will be St Stephen's with Melbourne University, Frankston and Glenn Huntley just on his heels.
But Eno's going with him, and Lockie Eno I think is going to finish strong here. Aspinall had so much work to do in the early laps, and now Eno, who sat there with Ueda, is starting to look very good. But Rancey, could we have Diamond Valley actually changing 1st position here, Nick?
I think it's a good possibility. He looks really strong. Rancey's got that 1 speed, as we know. Richie's got that 1 speed, as we know, out in front there, but Rancey's now right on him. And they got, with 200 metres left to go, it's going to be very interesting, but I think it will be Box Hill. Just hold on here at the changeover. So 150 to go, and the best thing and most exciting is we are still all on the same lap. 8 teams still on the same lap of a 4x1500, which means the guys have all got the pace on.
So Richie leads. I think Rancey's just dropping a little bit here. He's got 100 metres to go. He's just got to hold on for his club because there is a gap of about 60 to 70 metres back to Aspinall for St Stephen's.
This last leg is going to be an interesting one. So Box Hill will change now. It's going to be William Potter, very proficient over obviously the cross-country distance. Diamond Valley will change 2nd, going to Jack Itter. St Stephen's, as we predicted, they're going to 3rd, and they're going to go to Ben Buckingham. He's going to have a lot of work to do to take the victory. He's probably going to be hunting for silver. We'll see what happens. It's a 100 metre gap. Frankston will change next, and that'll go to Jesse Dunsmore. Melbourne University will receive next, and that's Matthew Connolly. Glenn Huntley will be the next one to change, and that will be Ben Kelly receiving the baton. And then John Quoll from Olds Avarians will pass on to Angus Dalton, the 16-year-old junior. And Mornington Peninsula, they will be passing over to Ethan Anthony.
So running order out there at the moment. Box Hill through Potter. One of the big finds of the 2018 season for Diamond Valley. He's in 2nd position. Then Buckingham, the more experienced runner there for St Stephen's. So Ben Buckingham, probably the class 1500 metre runner in this on the track at the moment. But Potter has got 100 metres on him, and I can't see that being gapped.
Yeah, I think the most impressive at the moment, I think Jack Itter's the one that looks really good out there at the moment. I thought Buckingham might be able to close it down on Itter, but Itter's got a bigger chance, I think, of chasing Potter down. We look back further in the field there, Ben Kelly, he's certainly playing with distances this season, an 800 incredibly the other night at Milers Club. After a whole lot of work, this obviously over the winter on the longer road races. Back here, you've got a couple of the juniors joining together here. Interesting to see what these 2 boys can do. Angus Dalton joining in the open team, and also Ethan Anthony.
So Potter comes through, he'll get 2 laps to go. Gap to Itter is about 30 metres. I can't see that being bridged, Nick. It's a fair way for the young man Itter from Diamond Valley to get over the more experienced Potter.
And I think likewise, Ben Buckingham, St Stephen's have got themselves in a medal contention, but I don't think they're going to be strong enough to chase for the top of the podium. I think Ben Buckingham there is setting a tempo that's realistically going to hang on to that medal rather than hunt down the gold now. It's more a case of how quick this Box Hill team can go to win another gold medal here.
So Dunsmore's coming through now for the Frankston team. Can he bridge the gap to Buckingham? It's probably unlikely, but Dunsmore's definitely got a big gap over Ben Kelly, but Kelly's looking good.
Yeah, Ben Kelly in there in 5th, looking terrific. Melbourne University still coming along well there. Matthew Connolly, as we talked about before, interesting tactics in some of the teams today. Do some of these guys double up in the 4x8, or are some of them just going to hunt the 4x8 alone? So this 4x800 and 4x1500, and also a medley relay team with an 8 today means some of our distance runners, or some of our clubs might be going all out for one of those events rather than having athletes double up in a short time frame.
So as you said, a good battle underway here between our two juniors there, which is Ethan Anthony and also Dalton from Old Zavarians.
Yes, and they will get the bell now. So Will Potter will get the bell. With 1 lap to go, we're going to average, I reckon here, we're going to end up averaging probably 4 minute 3s, 4 minute 4s for each athlete. Ida still looks good. And now it's Ben Buckingham. So Buckingham's the one that's going to chase Ida and see if he can move his bronze medal and turn his bronze into silver. Potter, though, with 2:50 to remaining, there is no doubt who is going to be our Victorian 4x1500 metre champions, and that will be Box Hill. We are all on the same lap, as we said, which is exciting to see. And that battle at the back is still going on between Dalton and Anthony, the 16 and 18-year-old. Ben Kelly's not going to quite get Frankston there. But Buckingham, with 200 to go, is 30 metres down on Diamond Valley, chasing as William Potter, our leader, hits the main straight.
So we'll see our finishes here going to lane 3 to finish off this event. So that's where Potter's going to move now, easing his way out there. So good win for the Box Hill team here. They'll be proud of this one at their home track. Box Hill goes on to take this out. Time check just over 16 minutes. And a look at Buckingham. So they've moved into that second position. So good win there for Box Hill. St Stephen's, they'll come from last into second. So Buckingham will take that 16:23 unofficial. Great run by Ida though. And Diamond Valley get the bronze.
Yeah, it was a terrific run. We talked about it. St Stephen's played that very well. We said it's the first run back on the track for Tim Gibney in a long time, the first leg. But he did enough to make sure the team was within reach, and they've then worked their way through, almost going from there to their fastest leg there by the end. Ben Kelly next across the line there in 5th after Frankston were 4th. Melbourne University hit the home straight. Angus Dalton has kicked on very well, the young junior there for Old Zavarians. He's made some good ground there. He'll be the 7th across the line. And Ethan Anthony from representing Mornington Peninsula. They will be our 8th team, about 120 metres away.